This is where you'll find Kara. She runs the Bossy. She runs all the Garifuna activities here for all your tours. So there goes the phone right there. This is who you want to contact. I'll leave her WhatsApp number in as well. So now we're about to go upstairs and change into our Garifuna attire.
Question: what are those little boxes for?
Beat the Manasi. Hey, is beat the Manasi?
Beat the Benafi.
Beat the Banafi. That means good morning. The Garifuna language.
So welcome to Livingston, Guatemala, the home of the Garifuna people. The current population of Guatemala is 79,000 people. There are three races found here: the Mayans, the Latinos, which are Latinos, and then the Garifuna. The minorities are the Garifuna people, which are 4,000. So the census in 2018 recorded that there are only 4,000 Garifuna left in Livingston, Guatemala. Regardless of that 4,000, the Garifuna people still making impact in Guatemala. This is what brings the tourists here because of our culture, our language, our dance, and our food. Who are the Garifuna people? The Garifuna people are from St. Vincent. It started from the West African slave that escaped a shipwreck along the coast of St. Vincent. They swam on shore to the island. The inhabitants on the island at that time were Arawaks and the Caribs. When they arrived to the island, they needed the woman, so they killed the men and they occupied the woman.
Wow.
Amen. Amen. Right. All right. So that what created the Garifuna culture. All right. That what created the Garifuna race, which are the West Africans, the Arawaks, and the Caribs. Okay.
They killed all the men.
Yes.
Shameful.
Hey, there were only a woman. There's only a certain amount of women in the island. How do you think that they're gonna make life for themselves? So they have to kill some of the men to get the woman. All right. Now, in St. Vincent, they had a leader called Joseph Chatoué. Joseph Chatoué was a great warrior. When the British tried to colonize St. Vincent, they were very resistant. There were two wars recorded that happened. The first war, the Garifuna people won because they actually invaded the British camp, men dressed as women. So they surprised them and they massacred them.
Wow.
So because of that event, there is a dance in the Garifuna culture called the Wanaragu. Wanaragu is where the men disguise themselves as women, and then they dance. All right, so it actually is a reenactment of how they won the first war. The second war, the British became wiser. They brought the guns, so it was not a hand-in-hand combat.
Right.
So the second war, Joseph Chatoué died. The people became confused. They got dispersed. The British offered them two choices: stay and be under our colonization, but flee. But they didn't trust the Garifuna people to stay on the island because of how resistant they were to colonization.
Right.
Okay, so the Garifuna people said we escaped this place. I mean, this is our home. We're never slaved. I mean, even though the African part of them were saved, but once they integrated, they actually created a new race. Okay,
Right.
so to them, they were not slaves at that time. So they said, no, we're not gonna be colonized. Some stayed, some left. When they left, they traveled in boats from St. Vincent. They landed in Honduras. So they were exiled in 1797 was the year that they were exiled. Okay? They got to the shore of Honduras. They settled on the island of Rotan, Honduras. It was from Honduras that they dispersed. Come on, say it.
Beat the Manazi.
Victimanazi.
I'm learning.
Exactly. So when they actually, so it was from Honduras that they actually dispersed. So the Garifuna people are found now in Honduras, which has the most Garifuna communities. Over 50 Garifuna communities are found in Honduras. Guatemala, 1. Nicaragua, 2. The Belize has 6.
Wow.
Okay? All right. Okay? So, now, so how did the Garifuna people get here in Livingston? Because remember, from Honduras, they started to disperse.
Okay.
So this man here is called Marcos Sanchez Diaz. Marcos Sanchez Diaz was a Haitian soldier, according to history, who discovered this part of Livingston. Yes, Livingston was actually occupied. Guatemala was actually inhabited. I mean, the inhabitants of Guatemala were originally Indians, Mayans, but Mayans were living across the river. So, but Marcos Sanchez Diaz discovered this part of Livingston.
Okay.
So when he came, he saw that the land was good, and he went back on his way to get people to come and inhabit with him. So when history said that he found some Garifuna people from Honduras, and he brought them here. So Marcos Diaz is known to be the founder of Livingston. In the 18th century, the port came to Livingston. This was the best place for them to trade coffee, banana, and timber.
Mm-hmm.
So the economic of the Garifuna people, besides fishing and farming, increased because they were actually boat makers, and they were knowledgeable of the sea, of the stars, of the navigation system. So when the port was here in the 18th century, the Garifuna people economic status flourished.
Mm-hmm.
But something happened. There was a major shipwreck here that actually causes the port to move from Livingston to Puerto Barrios. Because of the mouth of the river, you know, the mouth of the river sometimes closes during a certain time of the year, it gets shallow. So they realized that the Livingston was not a convenient place for a port.
Okay.
Right? So when that happened, the port started slowly to move to Puerto Barrios. And when that also happened, the economic lives of the Garifuna people also declined. There was a census in 1970. Census recorded that there were over 10,000 Garifuna people at that time. In 2018, like we said before, 4,000. So that's the difference between when the decline of the population.
Wow.
Where did they go? They continue to disperse to Belize. Most of them is in New York. Most of them is in the U.S.
Wow. New York.
Yes. Over 300,000 Garifuna people are in the United States currently.
Interesting.
Migrated from either Honduras, Nicaragua, Belize, Guatemala.
You know, I posted a reel yesterday on Facebook, and 4 people follow me. They all were from New York.
Yeah.
Except one was in,
Majority of them.
I think it's Dangria. One said Dangria.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
All right, go this way. So even with the Garifuna, even there's only 4,000 Garifunas here, you know, the Garifuna people still are the one that brings tourists to Livingston, because this is the only place where you can find predominantly black people.
Right.
In Guatemala. Because when we hear Guatemala, we think about Mayans. We think about the ruins. We would not know there's a Caribbean vibe that Livingston brings in Guatemala. So hence why it still attracts people to come here. So the Garifuna people are still the one that actually brings tourists here. But are they maximizing on that talent? No. Yes, pardon. Are you guys are saying Magadetin, remember?
Magari.
Eh, we buga ba we did badu ligidi su. We ni muta ha faru. Aha. Ayate. Maybe who's the me? Oh, yate. Okay. Aha.
So right now we're in the Garifuna restaurants. We're going to actually sit down and get something to eat. Spread the wealth. So this is the owner.
Yes. She's a strong woman whose aim is to preserve the Garifuna culture with her restaurant, with the food that she offers. You know, she has the history of the Garifuna people there in three languages, in French, in Spanish, and in English. All right. She hosted different workshops here that actually to help actually advance the Garifuna people to advance their skills. So this is the area where she has the different meetings, the different workshops. Okay? And she's very proud of that lady that displays our artifacts, that tells the history of who we are. Just by coming to her place, she speaks about who we are. All right? So why are we seeing the different races here? Because when the port opened, it brought more business opportunities. So the Mayans and then the Latinos actually saw that. So then they came and they established their stores. So hence why you see that they were they're actually storekeepers. Now, the Garifuna people were fishermen, were sea people. So when the port happened, that was their main job. That was the main source of income because they were from the islands. They knew the sea, they knew the stars, they knew how to navigate, they knew how to build boats because they were builders of the boats as well, of the ships. All right. So that was why. So when the port left, their lifestyle, what they knew how to do, actually, it, when they made shelter. So hence why when the port left, they started migrating to different places. To the U.S., mainly to the U.S. A majority of them went to the U.S.
But to get into the U.S. from here, is it a lot easier to go to other countries? That's why so many people migrate here?
Most of them went to the door, back door.
Okay.
Yes, most of them. And as they got their papers, they sent for the relatives
Okay.
and the families. So since the port left, and then the economical decline of the Garifuna people happened at that time, there was not much for the Garifuna people to do after that. So yes, they still have their culture, their dance, and their music, but most of their lifestyle, how they get their income right now, is selling food on the streets, and making their local bread that you see them in the evening on the side of the streets, making their local bread as well, and entertaining the tourists.
Now I seen some bread online. What's it called? Powder bun or something like that?
It's coconut bread.
Coconut bread.
Uh-huh.
But it's called. Is it called like a powder bread?
Powder bun is a
powder
sweet,
bun.
is a sweet version. Is a sweet dessert.
It's
also
okay.
made out of coconut in the water. Okay.
The lady said it's not as soft as it looks.
Depending on who makes it.
Okay,
yes.
so they can be soft.
Yes. So what do the Garifuna people need now? Because you have to understand that when we resisted colonization when we were in St. Vincent, so when you think about the Garifuna culture, think about resilience, think about bravery, think about creativity, think about skill. Those things are innate within us. And then we are masters of our own destinies. Because when you look at our arts, the things that we make, when you look at our food, our culture, our dance,
Right.
the music, that itself is a gift that was given to us, and it is shown, by how it attracts people to Livingston. But we also need more education, more vocational skills, to get back the things that we used to know, about how to make the different arts that we used to make, how to make the different artifacts, how to make the hand, how to make the uru, how to make the gasibu. You know, those are different things that we can still do here to maintain our culture, because our culture is our wealth.
You know, we need, and you're doing a good job of it. We need more black people around the world, like in America, to start coming here to visit as well. Bring some of that money here to help out.
Yes. We also need, we need also support from the outside also, so that we can educate our children. We can start from young. The Base also has a youth Garifuna program where we teach kids the English language, and we also teach them how to drum as well. We also but our aim is to make sure that they explore the different surroundings around them, so that they can get exposure, so that they can realize that this is just not it. There's world out there. They can do anything, anything they want. They can accomplish anything they want. But we, as the older generations, need to provide that foundation for our children. So yes, we definitely would need help from the outside, from wherever we can. An organization that is strong enough, is passionate about the Garifuna culture, about preserving the culture, preserving the youth, you know, about showing the kids who they are, you know, showing them what blood runs through their veins, you know, the warrior attitude that they can overcome anything, the warrior attitude that they can beat anything. That is what we need to bring back to our children today, and it starts from today.
Sweet. Now, in front of us, there's a Garifuna hotel that when I was searching for rooms on TripAdvisor, Travelocity, this never even came up. So if you guys are coming to Livingston, Guatemala, and you want to spend some of your black dollars and keep it in the community, come check out the Garifuna Hotel. Now, Miss Cara, do you know how long this hotel has been open? She don't know.
Dancing.
Dancing, antes? Okay. It says it was open 35 years ago.
Really?
Uh,
Wow.
yes. So the Garifuna Hotel has been here, and yes, a lot of people come here. Like the Garifuna people also knows about this hotel, so they do come here. But it's true that they need to be more advertised on the
Right.
internet. Harry gave us to like I did. Because they have no yapper. No, may have to eliminate. Ah.
So, Ricardo explained to me, this little rundown building right here used to be the electric building for everybody in Livingston before a big, I guess, electric company came in. But she said a lot of people here don't even have electricity. So we're headed to the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, to see the Garifuna people celebrate.
The port moved, this place was sold, and then they use the ship, parts of the ship to decorate their hotel, and it also tells the history of what was once Livingston.
Wow. So this is where the port was.
Yes. So now the hotel is called Via Caribbean.
And what does that mean? This Carib, Villa Carib.
So this is the old port before it was moved to Puerto Barrios.
So you see the different things, the ship doors, the anchors.
Okay, that's the actual ship door.
Suitcases.
You got the anchors
From the old boats.
on the old boats.
All right. I don't know if this was like some tank or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look at the ships.
Buenos dias.
Hey, my
Everybody
friend's here.
Boats out here.
No, I was telling you that they're markers on the river because we're explaining that why the port moved from Livingston to Puerto Barrios. Because there's a certain part on the mouth of the river that's very shallow and then the ships couldn't pass. So because what happened was that they tried to come in doing a big storm and then they had a major shipwreck, which is a big financial loss. So they look for alternative means of how they can secure their shipment safely. Hence why they move it to Puerto Barrios. So if you see along the coast there are ships that are waiting to mount. There are many genres of the Garifuna music, but we'll be showing you 4 of those rhythms. We're gonna play the chumba, punta, and paranda. Okay, so those are the 4 beats that we're going to be demonstrating at the moment. All right. So
Okay.
the first one is hugu hugu. So hugu hugu. So hugu hugu is used for ceremonial. So that's the rhythm that you'll see in the churches and mass because it has a slower beat. It also was a rhythm that our ancestors used when they were being shipped from St. Vincent as they were rowing, and they were making music as well. You know, so they're to encourage themselves. You know, so they could keep moving on. All right. So the first rhythm is hugu hugu, mostly used for ceremonials. All right.
Okay.
Hugu hugu.